Let me ask you this. I've worked on AIS for a decade. We fought some pretty hard fights here in Arizona. We win some, we don't win some. But what I'm seeing, this thing's going to end up, and it already is here, it's like concealed carry permit protocol. It's different from state to state to state to state, because what you can do here, you damn sure don't want to pull in California.
Right.
California's got 366 different sets of rules at last count. You know, one county you have to do it this way, next county they don't care, you go over here, and then you got to cross the border into Arizona, you're talking to Mexico. Oregon is as bad as I don't like that Ninth Circuit neighborhood. Their public service officials, if they see you dragging a boat down the highway with the plug-in, you're getting pulled over.
Yeah.
That is a probable cause stop. We've been trying to get Arizona to do that here. They won't enforce it.
Yeah. One of the things that we talked about earlier is the reorganization under the Interior Department. And I think this is a magical time to start looking at this so that we actually have the conversations. You know, one size does not fit all, but we got to be rational about the facts. We got to be rational about how the pathways and trajectories are looked at, along with finances. How do we look at getting the biggest bang for the buck? How do we leverage it with private sector and corporations, incorporate it with them, and use everybody to help us out? I think that's the biggest key. One of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to emulate something that happened with the Great Lakes, and that is trying to have an invasive species focus out of the Southwest. Quagga mussels, salt cedars, you name it. We would have to start working at what I'm looking at is Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and probably would have to use a little bit of California, unfortunately, because of connected waterways.
Sure.
But what ends up happening is allowing money to go in there with the jurisdiction so that it's leveraged with private and public funds, so that we get the best bang out of the bucks to attack and get some results. I think that's critical because you've seen some of that application really work well in the Great Lakes. So instead of reinventing the wheel,
Follow what they did in the Great Lakes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we're
Yeah,
trying
but
to
how do we come up with a standard? You said one size doesn't necessarily fit all, and I'll give you that to a certain extent. But when it comes to clean, drain, and dry protocols and cleaning a vessel, that does fit everything. And what we're seeing here is
see. I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
I think it's where you intercept them. I think it's
Exactly.
where you put your resources to do that. And I think that's what some of the locals out of Lake Havasu were trying to get a point across to us. Listen, when you start looking at different points of entry, most people follow a certain pathway. And they were very didactic because they had done the work and the research. Then they also looked at the timetables of the resources when they were open. So if somebody's going to go through a long pass, a long way around, they're going to do it intentionally. That's a person that when you intercept, they need to be charged.
yeah, exactly.
Okay? So I think there's a fundamental aspect of it, how you apply it. It's not if, it's just how you do
How,
it.
yeah.